So day 6 had plenty of drama as Daniil Medvedev comes back from 2-0 down to defeat Malazan, and he will meet Lerner Tien in the 4th round. We had Alcaraz absolutely destroying Mutet, and on the women's side, Sabalenka and Mboko, they're ready for a big clash.
That's right, Ben. It is day 6 at the Australian Open, and we have some big matchups coming up. As you've mentioned, Sabalenka and Mboko, two really good players. Mboko in the form of her career, Sabalenka the best player in the world. You've also got on the men's Lerner Tien versus Daniil Medvedev, someone Daniil Medvedev will not want to play. But he may have some confidence because he's done something he's struggled to do in the past in Australia. And that is, well, it's been more or less the other way around for him, I guess, where he's gone 2 sets up and then lost in 5. He now knows what that feels like because he has come back from 2 sets down and won. He's done a Rafael Nadal against him, or a Yannick Sinner, you could say as well. And he's beaten Fabio Maradona, a really good player, someone who I thought would test Daniil. I expected it to be a tight match. But I am happy we do get the Lerner Tien Medvedev matchup, in which you'd probably have to say Tien is favourite to win.
Coming into this tournament in my bracket, I had that matchup, and I was more confident Medvedev would be the favourite and he would beat Lerner Tien. But the way that this tournament has now progressed and the way that the confidence of Lerner Tien is growing, and we've just seen Medvedev have to come back from 2-0 and a breakdown in the 3rd as well. It's almost Rafael Nadal-esque, isn't it? Nearly the same type of scenario in that final. I'm a little bit worried for Medvedev now. He's had to run the gauntlet, and Lerner Tien got it done in straight sets against Nuno Borges. You said you thought it'd be an easy win. I thought he might drop a set, but yeah, he looks the real deal, the real package. And I think maybe I've missed a trick for the top 10, really. I went for Flavio Caboli, but I think Lerner Tien, he's looking early doors like this is going to be his form throughout the year, I think. I don't think that this is just a one and done in Australia. I think he's going to be going deep in a lot of tournaments in 2026.
Yeah, definitely. He is the real deal. I think he is a good shout for a top 10 spot. It could come a little bit too soon. And on the clay, I'm not sure if he's as good as other players, so could lose out a little bit there. Despite that, when he plays Medvedev, he does extremely well. The last time they did play was in Shanghai, and Medvedev won in 3. But this time last year at the Australian Open, Tien beat Daniil Medvedev in 5 sets. So what better body of work can you have than beating the guy in the same tournament a year apart? It doesn't bode well. However, one thing I would say is it was extremely close. A lot of tie breaks, not much in it at all. I know Tien did win in straight sets, but he was very close to losing that first set against Borges. I thought he was going to clinch it, but Tien managed to come back and just do what he's been doing. And I've noticed, I don't know if you've seen, but the American camp are very closely knit. They've spent a lot of time off the court together, and they've got a really good camaraderie and good like a bit of banter going between them. They went out for a meal the other day, and I forget who it was. Was it Neva who lost the card roulette? Oh no, it wasn't Neva. It was the other one.
Oh,
was it Elliot Spizzeri? I think. And he ended up having to pay for everyone. Tien seems to be thriving in that environment. He's a good character who is getting on with all of his fellow Americans. And I'm sure they can give him some tips on how to play against Daniil Medvedev. And I think there is a way to play against Daniil. You need to approach the net. You know he's going to stand miles back on the court. And there is weaknesses in his game. And if you are able to test him and trouble him and frustrate him and get under his skin, he can just completely combust.
Yeah. internally combust, that's for sure. I don't think the Americans are short for talent at these days, are they? I mean, they got this Ethan Quinn coming through, Spaceri coming through, got Ben Shelton in there, we got Tommy Paul. We've just had TFO go out today. But it's just endless, isn't it? The Americans just seem to have an abundance of young talent coming through to add to all their already good talent, like Fritz as well, another one I've not mentioned. They've got great camaraderie. I think the college tennis style, like, it fits well with them going to slams together, because they're almost like a Davis Cup team wherever they go. They just hang out. They're always having a bit of fun. Probably breaks the tension of playing in such a big tournament when you know in your off time you can have a bit of a laugh. If you're traveling on your own and you're only going to be sat just thinking about your next match for the next 48 hours, probably gets in your head a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and Daniil Medvedev has found himself 2 sets to love down 6 times since the start of 2024, and he's forced a 5th set in all of them matches. He's not always won them, but he has found his way back into matches. He's obviously been on the receiving end of being 2 sets up and lost in agonising fashion as well. I do feel like he's better than last year. I would, as much as Tien's going to fancy his chances, and it is a real 50-50 matchup, I'm sticking with my prediction at the start, which is Daniil Medvedev to win. And that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm actually switching mine. I went with Daniil Medvedev in the draw preview, and due to what we've seen in this tournament so far, I'm swapping sides to my wild card from last year, and I think Lerner TM will defeat him. I think he's going to make one improvement, so it's going to be in 4 sets. I don't think it's going to be in 5 this time. I think that Lerner TN will not be drawn in to the long Daniil Medvedev 5-setter again.
Yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments section. I am not mad at your prediction. I think you can make a case for either, and it's going to be very, very close. Another match which will be close is Mboko versus Sabalenka. Sabalenka didn't have it easy in her last round and struggled her way through it. It wasn't like a dominant performance from her. She did just enough. But this match, I think, is another level up in opponent.
Definitely.
And if she performs at the same level as she just did, then Mboko's going to fancy her chances because she's in good form at the moment.
Yeah, I think credit to Potapova as well. Gave a really good account of herself again. Somebody who hasn't been on the tour as frequently over the past year or so due to injury. And yeah, I think that Sabalenka did just enough. I think it's not how you win when you're playing well. It's how you win when you're playing not so well. And she just got through that match. Didn't go to 3 sets, which is great for her. Meant that she got through in straights. Coco Gauff was another person who did drop a set in this last round. But you saw as soon as she dropped the first, I think it was against Baptiste, she bageled her in the next set. And then it was a comfortable third as well. So Mboko, though, this is the name that keeps entering our comments section on our channel, and it's because people are very hot on her. They know that there's a big talent in there. She's won a big tournament before. She's won more than one tournament before, as people wanted to remind me as well. Can she defeat Sabalenka, though? This is like another level of danger on the court. Towson's one thing. McNally's another thing, sorry. This is Sabalenka. It's the world number 1. She's a 2-time Australian Open champion. She's been all the way in this tournament. This is her favourite tournament, I would say, probably on the tour. And Mboko, is the moment going to be too much for her? It's going to be on a big show court for sure. How is she going to handle the nerves?
Yeah, and I was just trying to get up the rankings because I'm assuming she's doing quite well.
Definitely.
In the live. Let's have a little look because she was 16 pre-tournament. She's now 13 in the world in the live rankings.
Impressive.
Closing in on that top 10. She's a powerful player. She's only 19 years old. The 2 best young players in the world right now is probably her and Mirra Andreeva. Of course, there's a few others too, but I think as like potential future Grand Slam level players. And I don't know if this is going to be a little bit too soon to beat someone like a number one Sabalenka in Australia, one of her best slams. But I do feel like this could be a real upset. And I honestly have to think that Mboko can win this match.
I think she will take a set. That's what I'm going to go with. My prediction will be Saba in 3.
Well, looking at some of her scores, Mboko, she's not... The thing is with her is she does drop sets. And even when she's playing well, she's got the tendency to still drop a set. I don't think she's like consistent, ultra consistent for a duration of a match. So there's never going to be a straight set victory for her. If she's going to win, it's going to be like a real crazy up and down one where she manages to clinch it in the third, but a lot of breaks to serve. Sabalenka maybe going a bit crazy too. And it is possible. There is a hint of a chance that Sabalenka is to go out, and she's going to be a little nervous, I think.
Yeah, there could definitely be a lot better matchups in round 4, that's for sure, than if I have a look through to who else has made it through. Putintseva has made it through to the 4th round, knocked out Son Mez. Putinseva's next match, that's going to be up against somebody who caused, I would say it's a bit of an upset, but you called it in the bracket, and it was Jovic, my wild card from last year. I feel that TN and Jovic, I should have just put them in my top 10. I don't know what I was thinking. I've gone Raducanu and Kaboli. I completely ruined.
I was expecting TN in your top 10. I think that would have been a good pick and something which I could understand.
Yeah, maybe. But Jovic, I think...
Jovic is not top 10 ready.
Maybe not, but I think she's on a very, very quick trajectory. This is the thing with her. She's already top 30, and she's now beaten a top 10 player for the first time, Jasmine Paolini, in straight sets. She tried to sort of throw it away a little bit, but I think that's just the age and the nerves. She was serving for the match a couple of times, and it ended up getting broken twice, and then we ended up in the tiebreak. But credit to her, in that final set tiebreak, she went aggressive. She didn't go into a shell, and she started hitting winners and pushing Paolini around. So very, very happy with that performance, and a winnable match in the next round as well. Putintseva, somebody who gets under the skin of a lot of other players because she has some strange tactics on the court, but I think still a beatable player.
Yeah, she wasn't liked by the Australian crowd either. I don't know if you saw her dancing away with all the booing.
Yeah.
But she managed to get through, and I don't think she's a particularly amazing player, Putintseva, and I don't see her chances of going too far. Iva Jovic, on the other hand, is a promising tennis player with a good future, top 10 too soon this year. Let's see how she keeps going. I did predict her to beat Paolini. I think Paolini is going to struggle to stay inside the top 10. I've got her in 10th, but it's going to be a real big ask for her this year. And we're going to expect, I think, a lot more results like this for her. Difficult level for her to sustain, being with her power and height and other factors. Where was we going to go next? Was there another story you wanted to discuss?
It was one I caught at the end of today, and I just wanted to, because some people may see it as an upset. The bookies had it as a small upset, but it's just somebody who we love on the channel anyway, and it's back to the men's, and it is Francisco Cerundolo out of the doubles, sad to say, but still in the singles. And Andrei Rublev, this is somebody, if you had him in your top 10, I'm thinking Cerundolo could have been somebody that should have been on a radar for top 10 as well. Look how well he's playing. He literally did so much better than I thought he was going to do in this match. I thought that there may be some moments of like weakness where Rublev would just like power his way back in. No, he was controlling the match, Cerundolo. Really, really impressed by this. And his serving was great. Forehand looked on point. And Rublev hitting his leg as always, self-destructing a little bit in the third set. But yeah, what a player. Come on, Francisco.
Yeah, the better player won. I'm not sure if they faced off at the UTS when we both watched them. I seem to think they did, and Rublev beat him, but different format, obviously, in a Grand Slam compared to UTS with all the silly rules they've got. And I'm not that surprised. We've seen Cerundolo in person now. We've spoke to him behind the scenes. We've watched so many of his matches, really, from all the qualifiers and challengers to where he is now. We know his backroom staff. We are very familiar with so many different things, and it makes sense. He's a very good player, a very humble player, extremely nice behind the scenes, someone we would always get behind and support.
Yep.
And as a level of athlete, of course, he is around the 10 to 20 mark. Would need to improve further, I think, to break into the top 10. I don't think he's there yet, but I'm very fond of him. I'm going to keep cheering him on and hoping he can advance. And with Rublev, a player of that level between sort of 10 to 20, or obviously 0 to 10, will always, or 1 to 10, you can't be 0, but you can always beat a Rublev. He is very beatable.
In a slam, still yet to really do anything.
No.
We've not, and I'd say
he can't get to a semi-final, can he?
Cerundolo, I think, has more scope for it as well. I think that if it was to be anywhere, it would probably be Roland Garros. He's yet to make a quarter final yet, though, and I think if he does make one, maybe it will be. Well, he has a chance here. Let's not rule him out completely, because he is up against Sasha Zverev, who knocked out Cam Norrie in 4 sets, and Cerundolo's head-to-head against Zverev 3-2 in favour of Cerundolo, but all 3 of those were on clay, and the last 2 matches were on hard court, which Zverev did win. Doesn't mean anything, though. This is Grand Slam tennis, and I think Cerundolo, the way he's playing, if Zverev goes into his shell a little bit and doesn't start actually playing aggressive tennis, I think Cerundolo just has to go for him, go all-out attack, put him under the cosh from the off, and see if Zverev responds or just capitulates.
Yeah, possible. And look forward to that. Carlos Alcaraz, we've got to speak about him, the world number 1.
Wow.
That's who I was trying to find earlier. I don't know how I couldn't think of the name.
Forgettable player.
Yeah, he's only the world number 1. Statistically, incredible, really, what he's doing. I don't know if you want to bring some of them up, but he's right up there with winning records at slams and everything else. I sent you a few tweets. Yeah, this is a good one. So Alcaraz has played his 100th Grand Slam match today, and he's got 87 wins. Only Borg has more than him with 88. The rest, Nadal 86, one less. Sinner 81, Federer 80, Djokovic 79. So that sweet zone kind of is around 80 or so. Nadal excelling with 86, and Alcaraz gone one more with 87.
Wild.
It is astonishing numbers, and you need to sometimes reflect on it. This guy, he's just lost his coach, his brother's mate playing quite a prominent figure in the backroom staff, helping him out. But I don't think it really matters. I think when you've got that level of ability, maybe more natural ability than a lot of these other players, I think, as well. I think a lot of them, their mentality and hunger and at times physicality got them through it. I think tactically, the likes of the big 3 were brilliant, and a lot of it come down to that. I think with Alcaraz, I'm not sure how much all of that plays a factor. Of course, it's important. You have to get your tactics right, and he's going to be looking into all of the stats and everything. I just think with him, there's this natural, raw ability, which other tennis players we've just seen there, all the best players who to ever play the game, I don't think I could really say the same thing about them. Roger Federer, of course, you can make a big claim for. I think natural ability with him and the effortless nature of the way he played the game, he sort of transformed it, and was able to see tennis for a different light completely. Alcaraz is probably similar in some ways, just very, I don't know, unpredictable. That's the difference. With Federer, it was more predictable. You kind of knew what he was going to do, but it was so good you couldn't stop it. Alcaraz, you don't know what's going to happen. Moutet, even more so, you don't know what's going to happen, but it's a different level and quite a few levels below. Alcaraz was asked about the drop shots, saying, have you ever faced so many drop shots in your life in a match? And he said, no. It felt very surreal because usually he's the guy doing all the drop shots. Moutet kept trying different things. I think for him, it was just a day out and an experience to play Carlos Alcaraz. He never really believed he could win, and Alcaraz schooled him.
Yeah, I didn't see this going any other way. This match was always a straight sets win for me. Moutet, a great player, but he's never going to, for me, beat the likes of Sinner or Alcaraz.
He tried the drop shots crazy amount of times, didn't he?
He said he reckoned 55 times. He does. I don't know if that's an actual number he was counting in his head, but it said he felt like about 55 times that he was having to run to that. He said, I was so tired. I didn't even want to keep running for them. But Carlos always gives the crowd what they come to watch. I think that somebody like Moutet brings out a better performance from Carlos, because you want to see the drop shots against people like him, because then you get the net sprints. And if you get the net sprints from Carlos, you know that there's always going to be a tweener. There's going to be things like that coming after there's been a little drop shot. So I like the fact that he was able to be pushed around a little bit by Moutet, but ultimately there was only ever going to be one winner in this match. And Carlos through to the next round with flying colours. Tommy Paul up next, who went through due to retirement from Davidovich Fokina. 6-1, 6-1, retirement. Sad to see Fokina out. But Tommy Paul, always a tough matchup for Carlos Alcaraz. And a fresh one as well. Do I think he's going to beat him? I think Alcaraz should still be okay. That's my personal opinion. I think the levels are they're vast at the moment between the top two and everybody else. And where he used to be on a similar level to Tommy Paul, I think that it's been gradually getting further and further apart. Tommy Paul hasn't looked like that semi-finalist from a slam that we saw for a while. But you never know. He could come back, bring a level.
It's going to be a test, though, more so. Tommy Paul has abilities to take sets off Alcaraz. Can he beat him? I'm not entirely sure, but definitely one on paper, which could be quite interesting, and a good gauge to see of where Carlos Alcaraz's real level is, because I don't think we actually know what his level is yet. No. I know on the last match he played, we said that he played quite well, and everyone in the comments was saying, no, it wasn't a great performance from him, but it wasn't much to read into, because he did what he had to do against that level of opponent. Tommy Paul is going to have to produce a better level, but I'm sure he's got that without having to push too much.
Yeah, and I think that the one thing that people look too much into what we say when you say, well, he didn't play well for... look at the business ends of all the sets and tell me if he played well. Because if it's in the middle of the set and he's just missing a few forehands and he's looking a little bit erratic, that's Carlos Alcaraz in the early rounds of a slam. He doesn't need...
It's not Carlos Alcaraz, it's most Djokovic as well.
Yeah, but in the early rounds of slam, they can play around a bit. Sinner's been playing around, trying different shots and stuff like that. That's what they do. They can do that. They can give away probably. It can give him a 4-love lead probably and still come back and win the set if he really wanted.
I'm not sure about that always.
Maybe, but that's the thing. He's that good. If you say, oh, at the business end, it was in the tiebreak and Alcaraz served 3 double faults and hit a few rogue forehands, I'll be like, yeah, that's odd. In clutch moments, he should be good. He has been good in the clutch moments, so no worries. That's the problem. So don't look too much into us saying they played really well. They play well in the business end. That's doing enough to get through the tournament. So, right, on to the final bits for today's action. Mukova went through. I'll just put the results up so we can just see who else went through. Mukova, very, very good win. Double breadstick for her. Svitolina, I know you sent me over a tweet for her.
Yeah, we should speak about it. She was someone before the tournament I kept highlighting, in good form, winning an event, keeps the run going. And since her Grand Slam debut in 2012, only 3 women have won more singles major matches than Svitolina, and that is Serena Williams, Madison Keys, what could surprise some people, been around for some time, and Azarenka. Then she's in number 4, Svitolina. If she keeps going here, she will overtake Azarenka. I mean, I'm sure she's going to overtake Azarenka anyway, come the end of the year, because she's too good, and she's going to be in, for me, so many more slams. I don't see her retiring yet. I don't think she's good enough to win one. I really don't. I think it's going to be too much for her even really to get to a final. But in matches, in odd matches, she's one of the best. And she's a player who you're going to want her to be highly ranked, because the moment she drops down the rankings a little bit and starts being a lower seed, the top players are going to be devastated, because she has the ability to knock them all out.
Yeah, she's a horrible player who, when she gets the bit between her teeth, then you can't really shake her off, can you? She's like today, I was so impressed by the first set. It obviously went to tie break, which it can go either way. It's a 50-50 shootout. To finish that tie break, she served 3 aces. She did.
Yeah.
That was insane. And I was like, where did that just come from? And then she just walked off down the tunnel as if like just strutted. I was like, that is crazy level, just to pull that out right at the back end of the set when she hadn't really been doing that great on her serve, not ace wise. Yeah, incredible. And then to win in straight sets against Schneider, I think that's another impressive performance. She's been one who's just been under the radar a little bit. I know we've been speaking about her more than some other players, but she's won every single match in straight sets so far.
Yeah. Moving over back to the men's, Alex de Minaur, he won in straight sets. We should speak about him for the reason being, I've got a question to pose.
Go on.
We know how good he is, and he's like sort of the best of the rest style in that category. Would you put him above Zverev? Because Zverev won or not? And can he beat the big two?
Well,
because I still don't see it
no,
really, and that's the thing with him.
so.
It's like he is so good,
Yeah.
and can beat pretty much everyone, but I just don't think he can ever win a slam unless the other two aren't playing it.
He can't look any further than the next match, I don't think. Obviously, Bublik will potentially be the next opponent. Bublik's one set up and getting close to another tiebreak at the moment against Echeverry. That's going to be the big test first. And this is a good test for him, because if you can get past a Bublik in this type of form, who's serving well, hitting hard, then that might put him in good stead to play somebody like an Alcaraz, because that's a level below. But I still don't think it's enough, because with Alcaraz, you've got the power and the agility. With de Minaur, you've got the agility, don't have the power. With Bublik, you've got the power, maybe less movement and mobility. So with Alcaraz, he just has it all, same as Sinner. And that's the conundrum, isn't it? If Alex de Minaur suddenly became as powerful as Alcaraz, would he be able to beat him then? That's the big question.
He's in the Zverev category though, isn't he? Right.
I think he's below it still, sadly.
I don't think so. I think he's in the Zverev category. I put him higher in my estimations every time I watch him, actually.
I love watching him, but I still think against a powerful player who's a big server, if you put him up against Zverev,
we've seen him cope many times.
He does cope.
He's a brilliant returner, probably one of the best returners on tour. He can deal with the pacey serves. The problem he has is his own serves being returned. It's difficult for him to hold. In terms of his return game, he's top 5 in the world without a doubt, one of the best. And he can deal with the big serves. He's so agile. His movement's incredible. I think it's lazy to say, just because of maybe his frame and height and everything, that he's going to struggle against the powerful players. He copes extremely well. He's able to deflect that power extremely well. He just struggles with his own serve, getting completely ripped and attacked. But his return game is incredible. So I'm not worried about him against, say, Zverev. It's all dependent on how Zverev attacks his serve, which he probably would do. Not to say they're playing it or they're in the same section even, but it's more the fact that if I'm trying to compare them two players, they're the players a little bit below, both of which struggle against Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz. And I think that's kind of where they are for the moment. But de Minaur, I believe, every time I watch him is an improvement, and I'm seeing him going up and up and up.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that he continues to keep going up, because I've got him in the top 4, I think, for this year. I believe that I pushed him up from last year, despite not making the top 5. I've gone a bit heavier on him because I know how consistent he is, and consistency gets you to the top. Against the likes of Zverev, yeah, he beat him at the Laver Cup, but I don't know if I can read anything into that. in bigger matches, Zverev's always sort of had his number. The only times he's beaten Zverev is at ATP Cup, United Cup, or Laver Cup.
There's only 120 points between them at the moment. Obviously, Zverev dropping so many, getting to the final here at the Australian Open. He needs to get back there. But the points difference where they are right now in the live rankings is extremely close.
Exactly. So, well, I think I've still got Zverev above him come the end of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some movement and they change positions throughout the year, that type of thing. Yeah, exciting times for Alex de Minaur and Australia as well, because it's always great to have somebody that high up the rankings at their home slam, I think.
Yeah, I need Musetti to win. I'm looking at the rankings now tonight, because that's going to really help my claims for his top 10 credentials.
Come on,
he's
Mahatch.
number 3 at the moment in the live rankings.
Mahatch is a tough match.
It is, but all he's doing is gaining points. Every round he goes, he's already made it further. So I just need him to keep going, or he's at the same level as last year. I think he went out at this stage. So just keep winning matches, and Musetti is going to be flying with the points. Any other matches to discuss? Obviously, we've not been able to speak about Mira Andreeva at all, because that match is happening right now. If she is by some crazy, I wouldn't expect it to happen. If she does go out, then we will do some kind of reaction to it. But I'm not expecting her to lose against Rusa. I'm going to go watch the rest of that now and see how it goes. Coco Gauff, just quickly on her, she did win in 3 sets. There was a bagel in the second set, and third set just didn't seem to get going in the first.
That's it. So Coco, I'll be excited to see her playing her next round match. Obviously, she got through that one. Dropping a set, I don't think it's that much of a big deal, but Mukova will be a bigger test in the next round. But I still have her as a favourite for that one.
Yeah, and we're getting to the business end now slowly. And Mboko, Sabalenka, and of course, Medvedev, TN, really good matches in the next round. And what a 24 hours for Mboko. She's just signed for Rolex and got to her last 16 of a Grand Slam. So can she go one better, beat Sabalenka? I think there is a possibility, but I'm still predicting Saba to win. But let us know in the comment section about some of the thoughts we've had from day 6 at the Australian Open. A lot of tennis still to be played, but Carlos Alcaraz is still in the draw for now. And, well, we're waiting for all the big narratives, I feel. We've not seen many massive ones happen or big upsets yet. All of the big players are still here for the title.
That's it. Big matches coming up tomorrow on day 7. We've got Sinner Spitzerli, we've got Djokovic van der Zandschulp. We also got Shelton Vachereau. Keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah.
Stearns and Nisimova, Osaka Inglis, Rybakina Valentova, and Kalinskaya versus Iga. That should be a good one.
And Stan Taylor Fritz.
Oh, yeah. Stan Fritz. Can Stan keep it going?
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you tomorrow.